Thank you so much. Yes. I'll be here all week. Don't worry, we'll get more. You'll get more. Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh, hey, friends and fiends and everything in between. And now I know what you're thinking. What's with that? Well, today we're going to be talking about a story where a friend of mine got me in a little bit of trouble and also gave me a great recipe.
You leave your camp for 1 minute to get some ingredients, and someone thinks they can own it. Well, enough was enough. That's my camp, and I was going to take it back. And just when I thought my day couldn't get any worse, I get pulled into the brush. And of course, it's by none other than the rogue who stole me and sold me to Tig the pirate.
Oh, if you don't know what I'm talking about, and if you want another amazing nautical recipe, check up there. Yeah, right there somewhere.
Right as I'm about to ask him what he's doing there, he covers my mouth with his hand, which reeks of fish, river rat. And then he introduces himself as Rue Valen, a rogue from the island nation of Nazaran. I quickly dismiss him, and then he asks why I would so, in his own words, witlessly, start charging after a Brahma priest. I quickly then tell him that it is my camp, and I'm not going to let the Brahma priest steal from me, and I'm not going to let him steal from me either. He then tells me that he's not aiming at stealing anything from my camp, but instead getting what the Brahma priest stole from him.
So, if you don't know what a Brahma priest is, it's this weird magical being that's kind of hard to kill with most typical weapons, but they're also made of smoke, really magic-y, and well, they're kind of tricky, and you'll get the idea as we go on with the story.
One way to beat him, according to Rue, is by removing the head with blunt force. But first we needed a distraction to get near it. And I didn't like the look on his face after he said that. And I was right, because this plan involved me being bait. I bravely started walking out, playing my handy ocarina. Let's just say it got his attention very quickly. I continued to try and muster up my courage as I walked closer, and he quickly closed the gap. And right at the moment when I thought Rue would show up, nothing. And this is why you never trust a rogue. As I stood, paralyzed in fear, I knew I was done for as he began choking the life out of me. Turns out he could be trusted, and he was right. Just knock the head off, and the Brahma priest is done. As soon as we got back to my camp, he kind of just left me there and started rummaging through everything. I was so weak from the chokehold I couldn't protest to him doing it. But also, I wasn't going to just stand there and let him steal from me, let alone kidnap me again. I knew I had to act quickly. And as I quietly snuck up on him to give him a blow with my loot, he pops up with a sack and starts rummaging through it. He pulls out a pendant and a knife and tries to offer them to me, and of course I say no. I don't know what they are or where they've been. So then he dives back into the sack, and eventually he pulls out some spices and offers to teach me a recipe that he knows from growing up in Nazaran.
And if you know anything about me, you know that I love finding a good new recipe. So, let's try this Nazaran trout. So before we start any other prep, we want to go ahead and salt our fish, because if we go ahead and salt it and let it sit for a little bit, it really lets that salt get in there and bring out its natural flavors. So we're going to go ahead and salt this thoroughly. A little bit of pepper as well. Always love a little S&P together. And now we can set that off to the side as we get everything else ready. All right, so now we want to focus on our other ingredients that we need to prep. So first, let's do our shallot. We want to do a fine dice on this. So now we just take all that, put it off to the side until we're ready. Let's grab a little bit of our parsley over here. And typically the easiest way is to grab a handful of leaves, and you kind of want to take them in your fingers, kind of ball them up a little bit, so that way you got a nice, easy way to chop through it. Once again, using your knuckles to guard your fingers. Anything that kind of made it out, scoop it back in. Do another little rough chop. This doesn't have to be super pretty because this is mostly going to be for garnish later. Put that off to the side. All right, so now we're going to prep our lemon. And a nice little thing that you can do for lemons or any really like any kind of citrus or something that you're going to try and juice later is you take it, palm of the hand, press it down into a table, your cutting board, whatever, and you want to roll it out, and you'll feel it kind of compress under your hand, and you just want to keep kind of rolling it around. So that feels like it's pretty good. We'll cut it in half because we only need the juice, half of it. And then we can put that off to the side. Okay, next we want to get our dredge ready. So we've got about 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. We've got 2 tablespoons of paprika. Throw that into a dish with a little pepper and a little salt, and do not hold it back. We always want to salt a little bit in every step. So now we just want to whisk that together with either a fork or an actual whisk if you've got it. Fortunately, I don't make that kind of money. So we just get that mixed together, and now we're ready to start cooking. All right, and now in a skillet over medium-high heat, we want to add in some olive oil, enough to kind of coat the bottom and get it up about 1/4 inch up the sides. And then we also want to add a tablespoon of butter. Get that melted in and warmed up so that way it's ready for our trout to shallow fry. All right, and while that's warming up, we can go ahead and dredge. So we just want to take our trout, get that in there, and we want to coat it on both sides and really just press it in there, move it around, make sure it's nice and tight on that. Shake off any excess, put it to the side. We can go ahead and do our other one. Oh gosh, I remember when he made this for me, I was so mad at him. But honestly, this kind of fixed everything. And now I actually invite him over every once in a while. Okay, oh yeah, there we go. And now we're ready to fry. All right, once we get that nice and hot, we're going to take our trout and we're going to put it flesh side down first. Oh yeah, got that nice little sizzle. And we're going to leave it on there for not very long, honestly only like 2 to 3 minutes. Then we'll flip it and let it finish. And if it feels like the oil is starting to smoke, you want to turn your temperature down to medium and then just let it finish through. All right, like I said, we already flipped it and now it is looking delicious. So we're going to transfer this to an oven-safe tray. Like I said, just as we get ready to empty out this pan and make the sauce that's supposed to go over it. All right, now that we have a clean pan, we want to take our butter and we're going to cut it into 4 equal parts, or as close to equal as you can. Throw that in, and that's going to be hopefully about 4 tablespoons of butter. Slide that off so that way it cooks down. And we want to go ahead and add our shallot. We're going to cook this down until the butter gets brown and nutty, and then the shallot goes translucent and soft. And as soon as that happens, then we're going to add the juice from 1/2 of our lemon. So let's brown this butter. All right, now that we've got that butter browned and our shallot nice and cooked, we want to take that off the heat. Go ahead and add juice from 1/2 of our lemon. Oh yeah, look how that juice just comes out after we've rolled it. Squeeze as much as possible. Go the other direction. Oh yeah. And then you just stir it in. Oh yeah. And now we want to season with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and of course, we always want to taste it to make sure we're good. Roll it around. Honestly, I think we did good on that one. All right, now that we've got our fish from the oven, we can grab our sauce. You want to make sure we get a nice healthy amount of those shallots and everything. Oh yeah. And just drizzle it. Oh, this smells so good, guys. That freshness from the lemon and the shallots. Oh my gosh, the nuttiness from the butter. It smells so good. And now we will top it with a little bit of parsley, because you know what? Sometimes we do want to be civilized. And today's just one of those days. A little bit on that one. A little bit on that one. And now this Nazaran trout is ready to taste. All right, now let's try this trout. Oh yeah, fork tender. Oh my gosh. It's got just that wonderful, like, lightly fried kind of taste to it. You can taste it. You've got the freshness of the lemons coming through, the nuttiness of browning that butter. Oh my gosh. If you love any kind of fried fish, you've got to make this. And I'm gonna have to say it, the parsley does make a little bit of a difference. I'm not happy about it, but it does. You know, having this trout again really makes me just look back on that time that I had with Rue, and I don't look fondly on it. My days are much better when he's not around, I'll be honest. But that is his wonderful trout recipe for you all. So everybody, I hope that you eat well and love others, and God bless. We'll see you next time.
After he showed me the recipe and I made sure that he didn't poison it somehow, I finally took a bite, my first bite, and wow, that roe can actually cook. After feeding me, Rue just kind of heads off and tells me that he'll see me around soon. He didn't say how soon.
Pedro, as soon as he gets to you, take him.
Got it. Don't gotta ask me that twice.
That's how he does his women.
Yeah.
All right, we are.
Son.
That's a nice necklace. I think that's what we got.